What is up, guys? Today we are going to be doing another Wiggles guitar, and we are going to be doing this one a bit different. And we are going to be going crazy on the LEDs on this one. So the LEDs are going to be pretty advanced on this. But we are going to be mounting them in some different ways, and we're going to be mounting everything on this in different ways than we typically do. But it is another Wiggles guitar. It is fun. We've done it before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and speed through the tempo tone control, and then I will get back to you guys as soon as we get to where the LEDs are. Other than that, let's open it up.
Cut it out! I'm just trying to live my life. No one taught me about carbs.
Welcome to Pillar World, Bright. Let me get up and greet you. Let me get up and greet you.
Does it depress you, Commissioner, to know just how alone you really are? Does it make you feel responsible for Harvey Dent's current predicament? What's the time?
What difference does that make?
Well, one spot or several?
If we're gonna play games, I'm gonna need a cup of coffee.
The good cop, bad cop routine.
have all our bins set up and everything, we're going to go ahead and move on to the LEDs. Now the LEDs on this one are going to be quite abundant. So what we're going to do here is we're going to test around just for some LEDs. And I know these three right here are going to be ones that we are going to be using. So I'm going to be tagging right here and then right here. So we have right there. And we have another one right there and right there. Can you see? Trying to get these two so you can kind of see the difference between them. You can see it is different and it is a bit bluer. I'm gonna go here. And right there you can see that's a little more green tinted than the other ones. So we are going to be tagging onto quite a few different ones here, and we're going to be testing them as I go. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and solder onto this one right here. Then I'm going to solder on these three guys. Now that we have these wires set up, I'm just going to deal with this wire right here for now, because this has the ability to actually activate an LED, whereas these don't, and they're just an add-on to this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and feed out this wire to where we want it to be. And on that, it's going to be lower on the guitar. So I'm going to be going right around, probably right here. I'm going to give myself a little bit extra length right here. And then I'm going to separate these guys, so when I cut this, it isn't short-circuiting the instrument. I'm going to cut right here, there's one, now I'm safe to cut the other one, so let's go ahead and cut that. And we're going to do this, untie it a bit. Now, the one that we are going to need on every single one is going to be, turn this off. It's going to be this one right here. So we need this striped wire to connect to every single one of these ones that we actually just put on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add an extension wire onto this. So I'm going to strip it out, strip this one out, and then we're going to get just a piece of wire right here. Go ahead and cut it. There we go. And we're going to strip this down on this side. And let's go ahead and strip this other one. There we go. This we have to do later. We're going to go ahead and wrap these two together here. And this is going to give us the ability to run it out to a different LED. So now we are going to go ahead and put the LED on. If I can find the LED. Alright, so here we go. That looks good, so let's go ahead and turn this back on and let's test it. So that looks fantastic. We're going to go ahead, bend these. Then I have this one running out right here. So now let's go ahead and strip the other ones. Now we know these are going to be a little bit farther down. Since this one's going to be mounted right here, these are probably going to be running down here and here. So I do have a different extension right here. And I'm just going to give myself a little extra length for both of them. let's go ahead and cut here and then here. So I can tuck too much length, but if I cut it too short, then I'm gonna have to add an extension to it, and I don't want to do that. So there we go. Strip it there. Let's strip it here. Attempt to strip it there. Here we go. All right, and now I'm gonna grab 2 more LEDs out of here. These are just RGB fast fading LEDs. And you'll see that these actually aren't fading fast. They're actually just coming on. Which is kind of interesting, but it kind of depends on where you plug them in at. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit this. Alright, so that's interesting. You see both of them are actually changing right there when I run them in parallel. So that means it's taking a little more of the amperage off of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test a couple LEDs on here just to see what kind of effects we can get and see if we can make it overall pretty cool looking.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
I messed around with a couple different LEDs, and what I came across was a blue LED. Now this is a static LED, but I really like the way this makes it look. So there's a really pretty glow to it. And then you see it's not affecting the other LED either, so we also have a blue glow on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and latch this one in here. Alright, and we are good on that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another extension to this for this wire. Go ahead and go with this one right here, since we know this is a good length. Alright, I'm going to fold this LED. Now the reason I fold the LEDs like this is because even though we're soldering on, it's just a little bit of extra security you can actually add into it. So it's wrapping the wires around it and then folding the wires over. So it's almost a crimping effect. And it's going to add a little extra security even though we are soldering them. It's going to help out a bit. At least I think it does. So that is negating the blue effect on this. So I'm going to go ahead and look for another LED and see what we can put on here. So now we have this, and I found a white LED. And as you can see, it doesn't negate the blue effect on this as some of the other LEDs will. So like this one would actually make that change color. And then they look too similar. Which, similar isn't bad, it's just not something that we want 2 LEDs down the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go with this white LED right here. And that's going to look a bit different. Now the white LEDs are really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do just for fun is I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to tie 2 ties onto this. And then we're just going to loop 2 more white LEDs in here. Just for looks, I think it'd be kind of fun just to put 3 right in a row. And we want this thing lit up like a Christmas tree, so this will definitely help it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this on. We're going to do 2 extension wires, and then we're going to add 2 more white LEDs the same way we're adding these, just with extenders on both wires. now returning back to the LEDs, we're going to be going back to the board and just testing out some other ones. So that's pretty right there. Alright, so we have a good point right there. Check here. So nothing is even happening to the instrument right there. So that's a good point right there. So that's rather interesting. So I'm going to check and see if this works while the instrument's off. Let's go ahead and... So nothing's happening there. The instruments are also not coming on. So that was a cool little bend, but it's not something I would add because it seems to be damaging the instrument in some way, considering that none of the buttons are working while it's on. Now that could just be negating the button function, but it's not something that's a well enough noise that I would actually risk something like that. It's kind of just an annoying little beep, so I'm not going to put that one in there. So here it is again. Let's go ahead and hop to a different one over here. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's too many other points that we can tag onto. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just tag onto this one right here that was giving us that green effect with the fast fading RGB LED. And find that. And we're just going to go off of that, and then we're just going to string more LEDs onto this. Because the cool thing about these guitars is they can actually take a lot of LEDs before the instrument starts bogging down. And by bogging down, I just mean battery-wise. So we're going to go ahead and string more LEDs on, and let's go ahead and hook this up so where that green LED is coming on. So just seconds after that last video there, I actually thought about it, and a smart thing we could do is go ahead and tag onto the speaker wire, and that's going to allow us to make the LED come on anytime the sound comes on. And it may give us a different effect. And sure enough, I went ahead and used a fast fading RGB LED and then hooked it right here. And then you can see we actually get a color changing effect, which we don't have in this circuit yet. And then it goes right off, comes right back on. So that's going to be a good one to do, and then we can actually do slow fading LEDs or even static LEDs on the same line as this. So we're going to go ahead and add that on as well. So right now we're going to be hitting this point and this point. So as you can see, this LED is actually negating the other one. So we have that green tent right there. And when I plug that in, it gets rid of that green tinted LED. And then I flip it over, it's going to do the same thing. So this has something to do with the LED being run in a way where the ground to one is being connected to the positive on the other and vice versa. So you've seen that this actually came on and it was red tinted, but it actually came on the other way. So if I'm going to flip these wires around, I have to get it off here first. But if I were to flip these wires around, it would actually still come on. So it's working on both polarities. But on one of them, it's actually turning off when I plug this other LED into it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to this polarity right here, even though that was a really cool green. I really want that color changing effect on this one. So I'm not going to hook it up so it's not coming on. So we're going to go ahead and put that on here, and then we're going to test this one out. So that is actually negating it as well. So that's very, very strange. So what I'm going to do in this situation is go ahead and go back to here. And then we're going to see if there's any other points that are going to give us that color changing effect that we're looking for and can be plugged into the speaker. So let's go ahead and unplug this because it doesn't seem like the LED's even coming on. So the LED doesn't even seem to be coming on any of these. So I'm going to go and swap out this LED and hope that's the problem. Alright, so we swapped out the LEDs and I went ahead and made this back into the green because, good news, the LED was actually the issue. So sometimes that will happen. They are brand new LEDs, but just sometimes that does happen. They'll come in and one of them won't work. So kind of a trick, but this one is doing what we wanted it to. And as you can see right here, it's causing the other one to act a bit differently. So it's almost a color changing LED, but it's still blinking that green that we really like. So that is perfectly fine. We're going to go ahead and hook this up. At this point, we're not done with the LEDs, but we're going to go ahead and start mounting them just so we can kind of get them out of the way and see kind of what we're dealing with. So here, there's no real science to it. I'm just going to be mounting the LEDs by first seeing how much length we have on each one, which we already did. We actually measured them out to be mounted in specific places. And then I'm just going to run the drill right through here. And just make sure that you're not actually interfering with any buttons or anything. And this instrument's really good with that. So we're just going to go ahead and drill right here. And this gets sort of 3 white ones right here. So we have this one, the blue one, then we have our 3 white ones. I want the 3 white ones to be pretty close to each other, so I'm just going to go ahead and drill out these. That'll look really good right there. Then we're getting to the other two. I'm gonna do one right here. Let's go ahead and mount one in the front here. Okay, let's make the holes larger.
This is my space. Ready?
end now, and we only have one more thing left to do, and that is to add LEDs up here where the tuners would be. So we're going to be adding LEDs right through here, just 3 of them. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and add more blue LEDs because I really like the blue on this instrument. So we're going to add 3 more static blue LEDs. Now we have so many LEDs on this that the color fading are going to be pulling quite a bit of amperage and voltage from the instrument. And what that's going to cause, it's going to cause some of the other LEDs to kind of fade in and out. I get it the other way. And I'm going to source these directly where we're sourcing the white ones. Okay, so can you see that? So you can see it's kind of fading in and out. So that's going to be a cool little effect to actually add onto this. And as you can see, it's not bogging down the other LEDs, but when we get this all soldered in and stuff, it very well may bog them down a tiny bit. But we still like that kind of fading effect right there. I think it's really cool, and it's a relaxing type of pulse LED. So we're going to go ahead and add this in, and how I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to base it directly off of the white LEDs, as I told. And we're going to just go ahead and cut the wires and then run them directly from there. So I'm going to go right here, and then we fed our LEDs out of this. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to cut this. Then we have our blue wire right here that we need to cut as well. Not the neatest way of doing stuff, but it works. So I'm going to unravel these a bit. So our white LEDs are off right now, which is a good sign, because that means we more than likely have the right wires. But before we go any farther, let's go ahead and test this out just by hooking it up to these two, making sure it does come on. Okay, so that looks great, and it's doing the same exact thing as the white ones were doing. So now we are going to go ahead and run our 2 wires directly out from here. Now I know this vlog wasn't super in-depth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add in the description. So if you look down in the description, there's going to be some of my other vlogs on this exact guitar. I shouldn't say exact guitar, on this Wiggles guitar, the exact same type. And they're going to be a little more in-depth about circuit bending them, and there we go over how to actually find the speed control on this, how to add some other stuff into it. But on this one, it's just going to be a little bit of an overview on the LEDs, more so than anything. Just because I have done this guitar so many times. Let's go ahead and fold that right there. And then we have quite enough length right here to actually get us to the neck, which is exactly what we want. So now we're going to go ahead and solder it, and we're going to run those LEDs out. Hello everyone. So I figured I'd give you guys a garden tour because I know I said I was going to do it over live stream. And this is the garden this year. So we have mints up here. These are all pepper plants. We have some tomatoes right here, tomatoes there. That's actually my habanero from last year. So you may remember that. That's about 2.5 years old. Let's say about 2 years old. It's an old one. You can actually see where it was cut last year to reset the plant. Right there. And we have a couple different peppers right here. These are the Trinidad Scorpions. So they are looking absolutely fantastic. And I wanted to do this now, so I didn't really clean up the deck or anything, because we actually have a little visitor right here. So you can see him right there. Oh, he ran out. But yeah, we have a little bunny that's kind of touring the garden as well. So this is all the parsley from last year. So crazy enough, I didn't even replant this. This stuff just grew right back out. So that is parsley from last year. Then you have mint here. So this is the apple mint. And I think that's peppermint or spearmint. I get them mixed up a lot. It's one of those. And then I have pineapple mint right here. There's more parsley back here. This is, I don't remember what type of mint that is. Oh yeah, that is apple mint as well. So it grew out. And then we have more tomatoes right here. I have a ghost pepper row. So all these guys are ghost peppers. Then these monster tomatoes. Then we have dill. And then this right here is fennel, which is a type of dill, which is very, very pretty. And then what the rabbit was hiding behind over there, that is also a tomato plant. We have some mint right here. This is the mint basket you may have remembered was actually in my growing room. Then there's also pepper plants right there. We've got this massive pepper plant here, along with this one. So that's one whole plant. And we have two right there. And this is really cool. So I actually designed this early spring. So this is a tower where you can grow strawberries in. I have a tomato plant that is absolutely rocking, which I need to get some aspirin to spray on this to boost its immune system to kind of get rid of all this. I think at one point I kind of overwatered it, but the tomato plant itself is just monstrous. So if you see that, that is all one tomato plant. So it's rather big. Then I have some candy cane peppers in here that are growing out. This is strawberries down here. These are some trees that we're planting. They're just maple trees, oak trees, things of that nature. There's a couple peppers. And right here, these are more peppers. And peppers, these are all habaneros. And this is a mix of some peppers. But I don't know what this big guy is. So I had 3 labels in here. And I believe they're all Naga brain strains, but I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what those are. I was very, very bad with labeling this here. And this is kind of the same deal. I don't know what this guy is either, but they're looking fantastic. We're starting to get flowers on them, so they're looking good. And this is another tomato plant. So this is a Brad's Atomic Grape right here. So as you can see, we've got a couple of tomatoes coming in. Then they're actually looking all striped and everything, as the Brad's Atomics do. Then right here, this is an Empire tomato. And I have another tomato over here. Don't remember what that one is. But these guys are kind of interesting. So weird enough, you may remember these being planted here last year. And I thought they were dead. They survived all winter, so to tell what the surprise that is, these are actually citrus trees. So these are called flying dragon trifoliate orange citrus trees. Trifoliate because of the leaves. They have 3 on them. But I did not expect them to grow out this year. I just kind of left them as sticks and they grew out this year. I'm super surprised. So this year I'm probably going to pull them in and end up doing something else with it. So this is kind of a pepper wall right here. So these are all pepper plants. Down here we have mint. There is more dill. So it looks like somebody was in here. Possibly may have been the rabbits earlier. Yeah, they dug quite a bit in there. So yeah, looks like there's some dill. Here's another little tree growing right there, which I'm going to end up taking out and putting somewhere else. These are all green onions. Then we have some potatoes right here. So this is actually a potato plant. More potatoes. So we have a lot of these. I didn't think they grew in multiples, but they do. And this is another tomato plant right here. So a rather large one. Then over here, these are all habanero plants. Which looks like I'm getting some grass in here. And interestingly enough, look at these guys. They don't look like habaneros, but they are. Those all came from the same habanero, weird enough, so. To see some growing in black, that's kind of strange. And then this right here, this tree, it's kind of interesting. It just started growing one day last year. And I never pulled it or anything because we didn't do anything with this side of the garden. And I ended up just continually topping it, kind of like bonsaiing the tree in a way. And this is kind of the result so far. Since it's so close to the apartment, I don't want to let it just grow wild, so I'm doing just bonsaiing it. And it's a very thick tree. It has a lot of new leaves on it, and I just keep topping it down, so yep. And then even though it's sort of late to start seeds, I am starting some seeds right there. So these are a type of ghost pepper. Like that's called purple splotched ghost. And this one, it's boot jolokia, which is ghost. But this is a purple pumpkin ghost. So I am rather excited to see them. I don't know if they're going to fruit. They may be overwinter type of peppers, but we'll just kind of see when we get there. But that is what's going on. And some more peppers back here. Then over here, this is a Smoking Edge Carolina Reaper. So this is known to be the hottest pepper in the world. It's absolutely beautiful. So it has its own bucket, and then all these are citrus trees. So this is a Calamandan orange. He fruits a lot. So this thing always has fruit on it. It's absolutely fantastic. I love this thing. The oranges are very, very sour on it. This is a Flying Dragon trifoliate orange as well. And it wasn't doing as well either. I kind of put it in its own little thing and it's doing pretty good now. So that's a Meyer lemon. And then this is a sitting graft. Which doesn't look like it took. I haven't actually messed with the grafts in a couple days, but right there you can see some flowers coming in. You got some new growth on them. Right here, this is a key lime. This also has quite a few different little flowers on it. So looks like there's actually a ladybug there too. Or not a ladybug, that's a firefly. Lightning bug, as we call them around here. And right here, this is a pink lemon. It's a variegated pink lemon tree. So it's doing really, really well too. So a lot of these actually lost a lot of leaves over winter time just because they didn't have enough light. And now they're doing really, really well. So it's good to see. This guy has a lot of sitting grafts too. So this is a graft. It's a suitcase graft I put on it. And there's another one that's right here. Which, considering the limbs that they're on are still doing good. I'm guessing the suitcase grafts are probably doing well as well. So we'll see. And then this is a Nagami kumquat tree. So this thing has a crazy amount of growth on it. Then I have, I think, 4 sitting grafts on this, possibly 3. So they look to be doing okay. Looks like it has some new growth underneath the graft, which is kind of funny to see. We'll check this one. I think I just bent that down, but I don't know. That whole limb looks brown, so we'll kind of have to see about that. I think that means the graft failed, but not quite sure. So keep your fingers crossed for me on that one. But so those are all the citruses, aside from the ones we kind of have planted on the side. So if you see these little trees that are sticking up everywhere, so there's another trifoliate. These are all just citruses. So when we eat citruses, we just save the seeds and we just toss them back here. And then you can see all these seeds right here that are coming from the bird feeder. So you just kind of got to know the difference between the citruses and the bird feeder seed. But that's a nasturtium right there. And then 2 Alaskan nasturtiums, which are going really well. This one was a Jewel Peach Melba nasturtium. For some reason, this thing is not doing good at all. It's got these leaves on it, but other than that, it seeded out and then died away. So I don't know if they run their life cycle and that's it, or what the deal is, but that one back there is rather big compared to all the other ones. There's more citrus trees. You see right there, there's little maple trees growing. Then over here, these are all our tomatoes and everything. Then we've got some Carolina Reapers over here. These are candy cane peppers. Got some orange bell king peppers back there. There's another candy cane pepper right here. This one I think has some sitting peppers as well. Maybe not, maybe just flowers. Then our other candy cane most definitely has some stuff on it. Well, one of these does. There we go, that's it. So I think we have 5 candy canes in total. Then you see that sitting pepper right there. It's not large as the other ones, but there's some mint back there. We have orange bells planted by the wall. And these are also citrus trees. So you can see that one's coming in beautifully. So here's our citruses. These are all Carolina Reapers. Started a little bit later than that guy over there, but all these guys are Carolina Reapers. Then you'll see these little tiny plants that we have planted everywhere. I was kind of playing Hunger Games with habanero plants, and that's where the other ones over there came from that you saw inside the little buckets and stuff. So I was just letting them grow, and then if they choked each other out, you know, so be it. I didn't really have the room for it, so thought that was kind of fun to do, and then I decided to be a good person and planted them all separate, so now they're all here. So this is a stevia plant. So stevia plant, if you've never tried them, they kind of taste like sugar. They're really, really strong taste, and they're actually used as a sweetener. But they taste absolutely amazing, and they're easy to grow. I don't really mess with it at all. So you can see right here, this is a red habanero. Here's more parsley that's flowering. I'm gonna lift this up. There we go, and you can see more ghost peppers back there. That's purple basil. Then right here we have lemon balm. The lemon balm absolutely went insane, but smells fantastic. A couple sitting tomatoes. See down here, which we've actually harvested quite a few tomatoes already. I think we've harvested we've harvested 5 tomatoes already. No peppers as of yet, but this is actually another mint. These guys aren't doing so well though. They were actually rocking it for a while. Then now they're just kind of looking straggly. They're not looking as full as they were. And this is a chocolate habanero. And I believe that is everything. So I did a horrible job at labeling stuff this year, but overall, it's been a successful year so far. You can see a bunch of little tiny peppers growing in there. And this thing, I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's barrage weed, but I'm not positive. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it.